Hello and welcome to Plastic Kraken. Today we're going to be taking a look at Halo Flashpoint and going over why I'm excited about this game and why I think perhaps you should be too. So we're going to go over things we know about it and then hopefully you'll have a better idea of exactly what this game is about and be able to make an informed decision about whether you want to dive into it or not. So what is Halo Flashpoint? Well, first of all, it's officially licensed tabletop miniatures game. It's made by Mantic. It's a great game for people who are new to wargaming and veterans alike, and I'll explain why that's the case as we go. And it's a skirmish-sized game, so this is small teams going head to head, not something where you're having to sort of collect whole armies for hundreds of pounds or anything like that. At least not at this point. Um, Perhaps it's something that if you're interested in down the future, they might explore, but we'll get into that a little bit later as well. And this game is releasing in fall 2024. So it's a beginner-friendly game. So as you see here, the models are pre-built and coloured. So you get a red team, a blue team, classic red versus blue sort of Halo thing going on there. So right out the box, you don't need to build the miniatures. You're not having to glue things. Obviously, a lot of people in the hobby will be used to that sort of thing already, but this is good for people coming into it new. You know, you're not going to have to go out and buy clippers and glues and things to get going. You're ready to go with your models right out of the box. You can leave them red and blue if you wish, or if you do want to paint them, then obviously you have that option that you can explore as well. The terrain as well, that comes on sort of printed card. So again, it's all ready for you. You're not having to glue things together, spray paint it. You know, if you're in the UK, wait for a nice day to spray paint it, and that sort of thing. It's just something that you can get ready, easy to put together. So you're easily going to be able to play this the same day that you take it out the box. We also know this is an easy to learn game. So you've got things there like the character cards. It's going to make it nice and readable. Um, this is based on a different game, which we'll get to in a minute as well, which is known for being good for beginners and things like that. And just because it's simple, it doesn't mean it's basic. We know it's going to have a lot of sort of tactical depth to it, but it's something you're gonna learn probably within the first game or two exactly what you're doing, and it's something you're going to be able to teach other people how to play with you as well. This is a game that doesn't require any additional books or additional armies. Like literally everything that you need is in here, so you're not having to go and buy tons of other stuff to get up and running with this. Literally, you buy your box, you've got your teams, and you're ready to go. With two players as well. It's not just as a single player. It doesn't require you to buy one and a mate to buy one. You can literally go 50-50 on this quite easily, and then you'll be laughing really. And this is a game where Halo fans will recognize the key concepts of the game. So obviously you're having firefights here. You've got things like your characters having shields. The weapons are things you'll recognize, the game modes. Just everything that, there's lots of, it's given, sorry, I suppose everything's given like a very Halo flavor. So that if you're familiar with the games, lots of these things are going to make sense to you right away with this game. Next up then, so I mentioned that this is a game by Mantic. So why is this a good thing? Well, Mantic, they're one of the big names in wargaming. They're a trusted and respected company. I don't think anyone really has too much bad things to say about Mantic, to be honest. When you hear them mentioned, it's always in a positive, and they definitely do good things to sort of cultivate their community and reward sort of customer loyalty and things like that. They have a great range of games and they're experienced with licenses as well. So they've covered things like Hellboy and The Walking Dead, which is just making a comeback actually at the moment. And we know as well that Halo Flashpoint is based on one of their most popular games, Dead Zone, and that's a game that I've never heard a bad word said about Dead Zone. Everyone says it's a fantastic game. And actually, I was looking to get into Dead Zone, and I just wasn't sure which of the starter sets to pick up. But hearing about Halo, I love Halo. I thought, I'll go in that direction. I would still love to get Dead Zone as well. And I think this Halo game is going to be a great stepping point for anyone that wants to get into Dead Zone. And potentially there'll be some sort of, because the stats and things like that for the characters you're playing in the Halo game are similar to the Dead Zone stats. They're very, very similar. Even if Mantic don't support sort of a bit of crossover there, it's going to be very easy for the community to create that and essentially have your Halo teams as like an extra faction for Dead Zone almost. But Dead Zone is a fantastic game. Comes with fantastic terrain. And yeah, it's definitely something I'd like to look at in the future if my hobby money can allow it, because I'd love to sort of go through the starter set and perhaps introduce some new people to that as well, and sort of give my thoughts on it and try it with some people. Um, but yeah, so this will be a game that you'll be able to teach your friends and family very quickly. Semantic, they have sort of clear rule sets. As I mentioned, Dead Zone is very easy for beginners. And this isn't something that's going to require like huge investments from your family friends. They're not going to have to go out and buy 10 books and know them cover to cover to be able to enjoy this game. With the easy build terrain, it's all pre-built colored miniatures, as I mentioned, so easily unbox this, get it going in no time. And I think what Mantic have done here, they've really nailed uh, making this something that's going to be attracted to people that perhaps are a bit hesitant to get into wargaming, or they don't want to be spending weeks on end painting up models just to get playing. So yeah, I think some of the decisions that they've made here have been really good. We'll see a bit more about that as we go along as well. So play style. So this is fast, frantic firefights. So again, this isn't something that's going to take up your entire day. Games are sort of 30 to 90 minutes based on what you're doing or how many sort of characters you're using. It's got things like Slayer, Oddball, Capture the Flag. So this sort of thing, you're probably going to get a few games in a night. Oh, sorry to jump ahead there. It's gone crazy. There we are. Right. So yeah, and there's no need for like tape measures and things like that with this game. You have squares and you move within those squares. It's all very, very simple to learn. I've just seen a couple of videos about Dead Zone, for example, and the movement and that is so simple, makes so much sense. It's just, yeah, something that I don't think is going to require, lots of learning, shall we say, is something you could just pick up easily. So I mentioned as well, you've got things like shields, respawning, picking up weapons. So obviously your model it shows you holding a weapon, but then you can go around the board. You pick up things like gravity hammers, energy swords, rocket launchers, all things you'll be familiar with from Halo if you've played that. And all that sort of stuff will make sure that no two games ever feel alike, really. We know as well that this could be played on a 2x2 game board, so it's not taking up a huge amount of space. It's something you can easily set up on your dining table or a kitchen table and just get going. The character cards come included, so they have all your stats on them. You're not having to rifle through 10 different books to find out what your characters do and that sort of thing. There's just a few keywords to learn. You got your cards, you're good to go. And we know as well, this is going to be a game that's got years of support with new stuff coming out ahead of it. So on that note, it's not just Spartans coming to this game. So one of the additions actually comes with the Banished that you see here. We'll get to that in a minute as well. But they did mention that there's probably something like 5 different factions they can explore here. Although we're just starting off with the Spartans and then the Banished, over time we're going to be looking at more. So in terms of those additions that I just mentioned, I've got 2 flavors really, Recon or Spartan. The Recon, if you just want to dip your toe in and you're looking, maybe not to make a big investment off the bat, Recon Edition, get a couple of teams, basics that you need to get going, all your tokens and stuff. Jesus Christ, I must have done that. and yeah, that'll get you going there. So that's pretty much all you need. Now, if you do want a more sort of advanced option, you have the option to pick up the Spartan edition, which does give you more characters. You get those banished in there. You get bigger teams. You got more terrain. The terrain is double-sided as well, so you can have sort of two different environments. And the board it upgrades from a paper one that you get in the Recon edition to a cardboard one, double-sided again. You get little plastic pieces in there like flags and stuff like that. So really, I think it's well worth the extra money if you do want to go down that route as well. Now, some initially some editions well sorry initially up to a certain point with the Spartan edition you could also get the Master Chief thrown in there for free. Sorry, I can't talk. It doesn't help that I have a really sore throat at the minute. um, but yeah, that deal has actually ended at the moment. But if you speak to your local retailers, your friendly local gaming stores, they might actually still be able to get you a copy where you get your free Master Chief there if you're buying the Spartan edition. So worth checking with them. However, um, fear not if you can't get that. There is also a paint set that comes with the Master Chief. So you get 8 Army Painter paints in there, and Army Painter are a good, respectable paint brand as well. And as well as that, you can buy all of these things from your friendly local gamer store, and it's going to be a bit cheaper than sort of the prices you see in here, including for those different box sets. So there are a few extras you can get as well. Oh, and just on one other point about Master Chief before I forget, they have said that he will just be available by himself later down the line if you want to do that as well. The sort of extras you can buy for this, so they've got some extra dice. So if you just want to have your own set of dice, your opponent have their own set of dice, you can also do that. Sorry, I have a very oversensitive mouse, it seems. And yeah, so having an extra set of dice, it probably just helps speed up the games a little bit. So that's why you might want that. There's also this token set for if you want acrylic tokens rather than just the cardboard ones that come with the set, but by no means something that you have to have. And then there's a deluxe terrain set. So this is actually plastic terrain rather than the cardboard terrain that comes with it. And this is something that you would need to actually like paint up and put together, but it is modular. You can put it in different configurations and stuff like that. And again, available a little bit cheaper elsewhere if you shop around. I think it's sort of in the £60, £65 sort of bracket in some places. So if you're looking for that, I believe places like Goblin Gaming, Firestone Games, Wayland Games, I think they have these available as well. So final thoughts. Yeah, this is like a fantastic looking game. I love Halo. The idea of being able to play this and teach it to people really easily, get it set up really easily. It's not adding huge amount of stuff to the pile of potential. This is something you're going to be up and running with really quickly. It looks fantastic. And yeah, I think it's just looking like a fantastic game. As well, there are lots of really good videos out there on YouTube already of people playing this game at places like Adepticon, and speaking with Ronnie from Mantic. And Ronnie's a fantastic character. You will fall in love with him when you're watching it. Like his enthusiasm is always shines through. So definitely watch some of those as well if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of the game, so what it's like to play. There's loads of little tidbits that they throw in there about stuff that's coming. And yeah, they do even hint, perhaps we might see, that we are going to see more things coming in the future, such as list building, more factions coming into it and all that good stuff. And Dead Zone actually as well, if you're not familiar, has a sort of a big brother in a game called Firefight that's a bit more like your sort of 40k like big army sort of battles. And I would love personally for them to expand Halo into sort of that area as well, and have like warthogs and ghosts and all those sorts of vehicles and things, just to really give people that are wanting a bit more wanting to put those vehicles together, paint up a bigger force, give them something to go after as well. But who knows? Obviously, this is exciting enough for now. We can't speak too much about what's going to happen in the future. But yeah, hopefully that's been helpful to you. If you could, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you very much for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in there. And if I know the answer, I will get back to you as well. Thank you very much. Take care.